What is the deal, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Conversations with Kenny. We are here. We are in the building. We are powered by the Knuckleheads Network. Today, we're talking CM Punk. What does he need to do in order to get the fans back? Off topic from wrestling. Would you date a girl or a guy that has an OnlyFans? And what are your top 3, top 5 things that you need at a barbecue? But you know that every week I have a special guest on here. And this week, I finally got the man that I see every single month refereeing, trying to look sexy in the ring, making people look good. He is 1/3 of the Job of Tears podcast. His name is Mr. Black. I'm going to bring him in here very quickly. Mr. Black, what is up, man?
What's up, brother, man? How you doing today,
I'm
brother?
I'm good, man. Finally got you on. I've had your brother on. I have Janelle on. And I was talking to Wilkins, and Wilkins was like, "Have you had my brother on?" I was like, "Nah, it's crazy. I haven't." And it's crazy that I've never reached out until now. And then I reached out to you. When the day I was going to reach out to you, it was your birthday, and I was like, "He ain't answering no messages. You probably out there drinking, chilling, having a good time, toasting it up, and whatever." So then I waited a little while, and I got you in the building. What's going on, man?
What's going on, brother, man? I'm feeling good. Man, I'm just having to talk some wrestling. You know, I'm really excited. Jobber Slam on July 29th.
Yes.
We're in full season of Jobber Slam. We up to number 3. Like, wow. Like,
yeah,
this is amazing. So right now, I like to call the season Jobber Slam season. You know, we usually do a lot of interviews, a lot of promo press.
Right.
This is actually my favorite time of the year because I love talking. I love making people feel good. So listen, man, I'm over to any questions. You know me. So let's.
I got a lot of
questions.
I got a lot of questions
Right, cool.
before we get into our topics. I like to with people who come on, if they don't know who you are, we break stuff down. So like I said before at the top, you are a member of the Job of Tears podcast. I remember Wilkins breaking down what Job of Tears mean.
Yeah.
Right. So they Janelle, but what does Job of Tears mean to you?
Community.
Right.
Second chances. I realize like in the wrestling community there's a lot of people who feels like how the society always look down on them because how the way they are, how the way they carry themselves. And in wrestling, I don't see that. Everybody comes from different backgrounds, but have a very large range. Like we come together to talk wrestling. We grew up as child, we gotta make fun of all the time. Now, as adults, we could talk about it and there's no real judgment. So Job of Tears means to me a community, family, and just providing entertainment for wrestling fans, non-wrestling, just people.
See, one thing that I love about you guys is that you guys, like you said, this is Jobber Slam 3. I met you guys at Jobber Slam 1. Right, it was right after the pandemic.
Yeah.
We was just starting to get back into like live shows, and a friend of mine was like, "Hey, there's a wrestling event going on in Brooklyn. If you want to come out, cool." And I didn't know anything about Jobber Slam at all. And then I said, F it, I'm going to go. I'm a big wrestling fan anyway. I love everything wrestling. And I get to this place, and you guys made everyone feel so welcomed. I didn't know anyone. And then I started I got introduced to a lot of different characters. Yeah. And then I remember, and then I think, I don't, do I remember when the first time I seen you ref? And then someone told me there was like, yeah, like he has a podcast. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I got introduced to the Jobber Tears podcast, right? And then I started to know more about like you and Janelle and Sir Wilkins and stuff like that. And I have to say that you guys bring so many people together, you know, and I've said this to Janelle, said, because you guys are like, you guys are more than a podcast. I put it that way. Like certain people that since I've been doing this are a lot for themselves, you know what I mean? But not you guys. Like people could come to you guys and say, hey, I need help with this. Can you help me? And 1, 2, 3 are really quick to be like, I got you. And you know, people will be like, I got you. And you never hear anything at all. But you literally are genuine when you guys say, no, I got you. Don't worry about it. Like, and then you guys host pay-per-views. You know, so for someone who says like, you know what, I don't want to pay $50 to go watch an AEW show.
Exactly.
You can go down to Legends, hang out with a whole bunch of people. You don't necessarily need to go with a group of friends. You can go by yourself, and I guarantee you're going to end up meeting someone there, and you're going to instantly have a connection with them.
Thank you.
And that's what I love. You know, one of the things I need to ask, because I never even asked you this in person when we talk, is that what got you into being a referee? Because your brother, he wanted to jump in the ring and put his body on the line, but you want to wear the nice clothes and call the action down the middle.
Okay. The thing is, I always like wrestling. I used to always play fight. I used to have the paper titles, all of that. So I was always into wrestling. I played sports in high school. I played on the football team. I was a fullback and an inside-outside linebacker. So I separated my shoulder, right? It's always separated, always separated. So I was like, shit, what can I do that contribute to wrestling, right? Don't get me wrong. To this day, I still train. Shout out to the Fallout Shelter in Brooklyn. Those guys out there do tremendous. We have tremendous talent. Anthony Gamble, KJ, Jordy Lee. We've got great trainers. Everybody. Cheap plug, the Fallout Shelter. And I was like, it was Nick Shin. At one point, Nick Shin to me was like the only black referee that I saw in the East Coast.
You gotta love Nick. That's true, because he was the only one that I've actually seen like on a consistent basis. And I would think I went to Long Island and I saw Nick refereeing a match out in Long Island. And I was like, what are you doing here?
Exactly. Nick was the only black referee. So I was like, all right, Nick. So one day I just kept on doing me like, you see me at Java Slam 1. Talking trash to the wrestlers, talking, hyping up everyone else, showing mad love. I was like, yo, Nick, man, how's ref? He's like, yo, you should do it. Then I was like, all right, man, cool. So happily during that time, the Fallout Shelter opened up, right? I was in DC. Shout out to Spice Bugle and Big Game Leroy. Me talking trash to the crowd, like, yo, you should be a manager, you should get into wrestling. I told Joe Kim, yo, I'm taking wrestling. I was like, yo, I'm meet you at your school. I'm paying my tuition, and I'm gonna meet you at the school. And then all of a sudden, I started loving it. One of the teachers, Santi, he asked me, yo, what are you doing here? What do you want out of wrestling? I want to be the best referee ever. And ever since then, I caught the bug. Like, you have to understand, man. Like, I love this shit, B. I love the grind. I love the hustle. Like, ooh, I get hyped when I hear people talking about it, and I watch it, I go, oh my God, this shit was crazy. Like, my reaction is my real reaction. Like, no, I don't practice reaction. I'll be like, yo, this is crazy. I'll be hyped too. Like, I love being a ref because I get to contribute to the action. I'm the third man. Me count 1, 2. If I don't do it right, the crowd don't, get into it. You feel me? And when somebody actually do tap, I go, oh my gosh, I don't know. 1, 2, you feel me? Like, I get into it. I wear the chains. Like, I put me into it because I truly believe in anything you do, you got to put your authentic version into it. You got to put you into it. Like, you still understand the rules, but put you into it. So if in real life, this is how I'm going to react to something, I'm going to react to this. Like, the only thing's different is I'm refereeing right now. but I am the referee. Referee don't make me. I make it. So yeah.
Now, yeah, because like when I see you come down to the ring, right? You make the most serious face. Like you don't smile, you don't wave, you don't give high fives to nobody. People will say your name and you just military style until we probably say, because I've been one of those people where like you get in the ring and you're super serious and I'm like, look at that sexy ass referee, and you kind of like break character and you laugh a little bit, you know what I mean? But have you ever reffed a match so far where you be like, you seen something happen and you just break character and you kind of just go like, oh shit, like did that really just happen?
It was, it was a couple of times. I think it was 2 weeks ago. It was George. It was in Jersey, the Mecca. It was at the Vixen show. It was a joint show. It was PJ Savage, I think, versus, his name is Him, something like that. Him, and I forgot his name. Yo, it was a full time, and it was a New Jersey street fight. They brawling. They went by the back door. Next thing you know, Him speared them right through. I was like, oh shit. And like I couldn't process. I was just like, yo, I had to like, yo, man, did I just see that? That shit had me like on some like, wow, dang, son. I couldn't believe it. That was like one of them. And the second one is O'Shea Edward. No, not O'Shea. Shane Taylor versus Moth. I love big, meaty men. I just smiled. I was just like, yo, this shit's really happening. So this is a fucking dream. Like, little kid inside of me came out. I was just like, that really made me break out because it's just like the realization where, like, I'm really in this.
Right.
So those are the two top times that I just broke character. I had to.
Jobber Slam 3 is this month. If you guys are listening to this right now, if you've never been to a Jobber Slam Battle Club Pro event, it is something that I hype you guys up all the time. Like my kids love going to the shows all the time. You know what I mean? They interact with all the talent, and they're really, if you see two boys that are constantly standing by the guardrails, those are my kids. They don't even sit down. They're constantly just there screaming at people, getting high fives, you know, being the heels that they are. What does Jobber Slam, the event, we heard what the podcast means, but what does Jobber Slam, the event, mean to you, like personally?
One of our greatest athletes of our time, KG, once said, anything's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Any motherfucking thing is possible. Like, shit is possible. If you put your mind into it, anything's possible. That's what it really means to me. Like, fun fact, technically, this is Jobber Slam 5. The other two, we did it at Legends Bar. Like, a lot of people don't know that. Like, if I could find the old flyer for Jobber Slam 1 and 2, yes, it was me and my brother. Yep. Like, I'm looking for the flyer, technically. But it just shows you that anything's possible. You put your mind to it. If, like, what's stopping you? No. That's what it means to me. Anything's possible.
Now, your brother is meeting Simon Miller one more time.
Okay.
The last time these two guys met, you got involved.
Okay.
Are we gonna see you ref this match again, or are you keeping this a surprise?
I don't know, personally, because I haven't get a lot of trouble with Joe Kim. Like he just said that the way I ref and how we favoring my guys. You know, you saw Yaya versus what's that dude's name? His name's skipping my mind. Tankman, right?
Yes.
Come on, man. I can't let Tankman be getting it in.
I was going for Yaya already. So we was there. When I see you do what you did, I was just like, all right, cool, let's keep it moving. Because you know, I was sponsoring Yaya, and I was like, we gotta keep it pushing.
Exactly. I keep it fair. You know, like the antics with what I did to Jobber to South last year to make sure Prolific loses. So I ain't trying to rack up a lot of fines right now. Joe Kid been very mad at me. So I was like, all right, man. He said, don't do this again. So I don't know if I'm reffing. I don't know. But
Listen,
best believe we're going to have a clean sweep. You know, like,
right.
if you remember last time what happened, y'all won. Back-to-back W's.
Yeah.
You don't take losses, always back-to-back. And if I have to ensure that, like, everything I say, I manifest it. So if I'm part of manifestation through my actions, why not to ensure that? Listen, I got an insurance policy in Anthony Gamble. I got another insurance policy within myself. I have faith in my guys. So whatever happened at Job Slam 3, it's going to be back-to-back W's once again. Like, Simon Miller's going to get a hop on the plane and take another L. Shout out to Encore. I don't know. It doesn't matter who he picks. He can pick Jesus, his mother. They're not winning. They're not.
That's another thing too. He has a surprise partner. We don't know who it is. I don't know. Like, are we waiting until the actual show to find out who his partner is, or is he gonna like try to reveal this like the way he did the weigh-in at Legend?
He's probably gonna do it some type of way, but it doesn't matter, man. We have one of the hottest wrestler under 30, Encore Moore. Come on.
Yeah, no, Encore's on it. You can't deny Encore, man. He's been on a freaking fire tail for a good year and a half now, going on 2.
He put on bangers. Like, you see the stuff he's doing on Instagram, promoting like positivity, man. Personal Encore Moore. Whoever don't know one dude, if you like Carmelo Hayes,
you definitely will love like Encore.
Encore Moore. Yep.
That's true. If people haven't seen you on the Job Tears podcast, the one thing that I love is that you guys, when topics are put on the table, you guys do not hold back the punches. And that's one of the things I love when I listen to you guys. I'll pop it in at work and I'll be like, all right, let me listen. And you guys just go off. So I gave you 3 topics and get your opinion on this stuff. I'll start you off with, what does CM Punk need to do in order to get the fans back? You know, he had the altercation with the Young Bucks and Kenny. He took some time off to like get his injuries. We've seen him do a lot of chatter on the internet leading up to him coming back to AEW. He's been getting booed certain places that he goes. It's not the same when he first came back, where everybody cheered for him. Now everybody's booing him. What does he need to do in order to get those fans back on his side?
Okay, that's it. I'm gonna answer another question. Why did the fan turn on him? I'm gonna just add on to everything. Is the fan turn on him because you've been doing the same exact shit since Ring of Honor, but Ring of Honor was an independent company. The same shit in WWE, you know, shit in AEW. At some point, a lot of us are not teenagers. A lot of us are not 20s no more. We're in our 30s. Like, we have persons from, like, we grew up. Like, we did the shadow work. We grew up as people. So we see live behavior looking like, yo, bro, what are you doing, son? I get it how you feel, but there's proper ways to do it. Because you dead ass embarrass Tony Khan like that. Why? Why would you do that? And honestly, for him getting back on good grace with the fans, I feel like he just got to better himself as a person. Right. At some point, CM Punk, you got to heal. Like, at the end of the day, we get it. You know, WWE did you wrong, quote unquote. But, bro, WWE gave you The Undertaker. WWE put you bread. Yes, your reign on top, you know, you didn't get the main event, but you held the title for over a year. Like, for a very long time. And I can understand why WWE didn't push him as the main event guy. My nigga, you're antisocial. If you notice, all the top guys, they're very social with people. From Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H, you know, Roman Reigns, all the top guys are very friendly. This is across every promotion, and you're the only one that have that. You seem to get along with anybody, bro. You gotta grow up. You gotta grow up, dogs. You gotta grow up. So I would never doubt his star power. Never doubt that. But for him to become that real crossover star he wants to be, he got to change as a person.
See, here's the thing.
Okay.
If you're constantly like, you know, we can go back to like ROH days, and then move on to like ECW and WWE. If you're constantly like this, and now you're much older and you're still doing this, chances are you're not gonna change. What saved him now in AEW is that Tony Khan really doesn't have control over anybody. Maybe like the mid-card guys and like the lower guys underneath mid-card, he could like push around. But like your top stars, there's no fucking way in the world you're gonna tell me that you're gonna stop me from talking shit. Because if that press conference did not show the level of disrespect these people have for him, then I don't know what else. Because when you have Jericho go on there and talk shit, then you have CM Punk go on there and talk shit. You know what I mean? Then you have the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega just say, you know what? Fuck this shit. Like, I'm just going to come to your door. I don't care what anybody says. And handle my business. And not go by you first. Like, hey, I think you need to talk to him before we handle it. Because we all have that supervisor that we be like, listen, before I flip out, I think you need to have a conversation with this person.
Thank you.
These people just said, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to go. I'm going to whip his ass. I'm going to say what I need to say and dip off. Same thing with Hangman. Hangman went out there who's like a mid, I'm going to say mid-level to top star, depending on the situation that he's in. And he went out there and just did whatever the fuck he wanted to do. Like, nah, you know what? I'm going to talk my shit and I'm going to walk out. What are you going to do? Nothing. Plain simple.
But the only thing about it, Hangman kept it within wrestling. He kept it within the ring. He kept it. He like he didn't embarrass nobody. You understand, though, son? Because I agree with you. He said his shit, whatever. But if you really think about it, Eddie Kingston said the same exact thing to you. Where was his energy towards Eddie Kingston?
Right.
You talk shit about Triple H, burying the quote unquote young guys. But why you had to do what you do to Hangman Page? You're no better.
Yep.
So at this point, it's just like he's gonna be one of those tarnished stars until you're looking like, all right, whatever. You understand? Like eventually his star is still he's still got star power, but it's tarnished. Like guarantee it, he's gonna do something that people are gonna look like, all right, Punk, there's no turning back on this.
Right.
I'm telling you, mark my words.
Yeah, it's so pro in the chat, he goes, I think we should all just acknowledge CM Punk and leave it at that. Now listen, I'm not. There's a difference, and like me and Toe from the Knuckleheads Network, like we argue about this all the time. And there's a lot of people that will argue about this, like certain situations that happen with people. CM Punk as a wrestler, 100% one of the greats in my mind, right? CM Punk outside of a wrestling ring, he got some issues. You know what I mean? Just like when we go and we say, like, let's just throw in Hogan in this mix, right? What he's done inside, and I seen the face you made because I make the same face too. Inside of the ring, we can't deny what Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania, we were all a Hulkamaniac when we were kids. We all loved Hollywood Hogan when when he was in WCW and stuff like that. And then we take that away and we talk about Hogan outside of wrestling. And then we all pretty much 95% of us say the same thing. He's a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like, let's just keep it 100. You know what I mean? And that's why we kind of, just like they always say, you got to separate the character from the real person, right? When we talk to a lot of talent, everyone always says, hey, I'm playing a character. And a lot of the talent that I've always interviewed, I always say the same thing. I say, how much of that character is your actual self? And then they will tell you, you know what I mean? So, we separate both guys, CM Punk the wrestler, CM Punk the person, and then we kind of just separate them and look at it and say, okay, something outweighs more. You know what I mean? And for certain fans, especially now, in the age that we're in, unfortunately, we see more of the outside of the person than we do the person inside of the ring. You know what I mean? Because I give you like Raquel Rodriguez. In NXT, she was a badass. Always with a face. You can't fuck with her. You see her on Instagram, smiling, family person, girlfriend, you know, like athlete. And then you look at her back in NXT and you're like, wait a minute, I just saw you on a post 2 seconds ago smiling, dancing. You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe that you're mean.
Well, the thing is, you know what I do? I don't follow no wrestlers unless I know you personally. I follow you,
Right?
But outside of that, I don't follow you because I still believe kayfabe is real. You understand? Right. So, like, okay, prime example, right? Darius Carter, right? I know this man personally, whatever, right? But if I see this man doing some charity shit, my nigga, I don't want to see that. You feel me? That's none of my business. You feel me? You're an athlete, this, that, and third. Cool. That's for me. But if everyone else want to follow me and see that, cool. But for me to enjoy it, I have to separate the character.
Mm-hmm.
I have to. But too often, like, who you are in real life bleeds into wrestling. So
I don't know. For me, I feel like maybe he just needs to, like, right now he's on a winning streak. Obviously, you need to continue putting yourself on TV and stuff like that. I think and it might suck because a lot of people probably be like, nah, you fucking bugging out. But maybe you need to have that match with like Kenny Omega or the Young Bucks, or maybe even MJF at one point, and just take the L. You know what I mean? Change your ways. Start putting over a lot of guys instead of putting yourself over. You know what I mean? Be more like, hey, like, you know, Sean Rossap is freaking reporting, or Pro from the Pro Wrestling Podcast is promoting that CM Punk is doing X, Y, and Z with young talent to try to, you know, maybe help them out. Maybe that will be something that, you know, will get the fans back on his side a little bit. But for right now, they're going to keep booing the shit out of him until he either leaves or he gets hurt again.
It kind of sucks though, because like, or he needs to have a totally new character.
Right.
I think at this point, he's been the voice of the voiceless for how many years now? The character's stale. It's very stale because a lot of us have our own voices now. Mm-hmm. And like the voice of the voiceless it was cool in your early 20s to try to figure out stuff. You know, we had much established because, you know, we didn't know who we were. But a lot of us became men and women, and after that, we know who the fuck we are. So a lot of stuff we see he looking like, yeah, I get it. It was cool, but you looking back on it looking like, oh, you don't play ball properly. You're selfish. You're self-centered. Like, you take this shit too personally. Listen, y'all niggas are a bunch of men wrestling in a damn underwear, and you get paid millions of dollars.
Yeah,
bro, Vince McMahon, you want me to go on the roof? All right, but make it make sense, Vince. Exactly. All right, cool. Hey, Vince, I get to travel around the Miz. People always shit on the Miz, right? I always call him yo, I get it. He plays ball. He's been WWE champion twice. You can never take that away from him. He has his own reality show. This man can go on the red carpet and Vince trusts him. Everywhere. This man barely wrestles. If you notice, he doesn't wrestle like that.
Nope.
Barely wrestles. Then he has a talk show every single week.
Yep.
Every single week. At any moment that they could pull the trigger and go, boom, he makes any around him better. Everybody, and they call his styles trash, but it's basic. But it's a Mario style where like anybody could pick up and use it.
That's why I always say, when you have a new celebrity come in, the first person they put him, you notice it, the first person they put him with is who? The Miz.
Facts.
Always.
Yes, he fought Logan Paul.
He fought Logan Paul. First match in, right? Who was his partner? Miz. When Bad Bunny came in, who did Bad Bunny started up with? The Miz. What's his name? The guy who plays
guest celebrity host. All those guest celebrity hosts.
Yep.
It was always tied with the Miz.
Yep. There was always the Miz is always tied to somebody. Shane McMahon's one of his like dopest matches. The Miz.
And The Miz said, fuck it, he lost, whatever. But guess what? I know Vince blessed him.
Yep. And yeah, they always reward him no matter what. Like if he sits there and he's like, all right, I'm gonna fight Shane for fucking 6 months. But guess what happens after the 6 months? He becomes IC champ. All right, you want me to go with Logan? You want me to go with Bad Bunny and make everybody look good and blah blah whatever? Sure, no problem. I'll do it. What happens? He wins. He gets the Money in the Bank briefcase. He becomes champ. Like,
and, come on, they go. And CM Punk don't know how to play ball.
Like, I can't wait to see what happens with him later on this year because he did the Logan Paul stint. He went did the stuff. It's only a matter of time before they give him something.
The World Championship. Like
they might.
I think honestly, and I've said this before, The Miz, Seth is putting a lot of the workhorse into that. Cool. Mm-hmm. But The Miz is going to take it to the next level.
Oh, for sure. All right. I'm going to throw in this next question. Okay. And I wish I had your brother here because he'll probably have a really crazy answer. Okay. But if you look on Instagram or you look on Twitter, and I 95% of the people now, but I'm going to say females because those are the ones that I pretty much just look at. They always have a link tree, right? In that link tree, there's always an OnlyFans.
Okay.
Always. It's like, and that's why I said 95% because that 5% of people, you click it and it's just like, hey, follow me on my Instagram or whatever. And you'd be like, damn, girl, you're like, you don't have a OnlyFans? That's weird, right? Like, you meet a girl, she's wonderful, she's great, and she doesn't tell you anything, and then all of a sudden you kind of figure it out, and you be like, yo, you have an OnlyFans? Is it a deal breaker for you?
I messed with girls with OnlyFans before.
Okay.
Understand it? I'm super open-minded. The thing is, you gotta have boundaries within boundaries. You understand? Mm-hmm. Meaning that you ain't sucking random niggas' dick on your OnlyFans.
Right.
No, you feel me? If your face not really on there and stuff like that, you selling titties, little pussy and stuff like that, toes and stuff like that. I get it. Whatever, cool. But I have to understand. But I have to see what else you do around it. You feel me? If this is on your only hustle, then I'm looking at you on some nah, I'm good. You feel me? But if it's on some I just did it because I had to go to college, blah, 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 blah. You treat that as Diamond from the Players Club.
Players Club.
I understand that. I'm not going to judge you. You understand, though? But now, if you have your whole face out there, blah, 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 I ain't going to treat you seriously. Matter of fact, I'm not going to date you. You feel me? But I'm not going to treat you any differently. You still the homie and stuff like that. If I was single, if you want to have sex, cool. I ain't going to treat you any differently because at the end of the day, you still a person that so happily has an OnlyFans. You feel me? Again, if someone said, oh, I want to date girls with OnlyFans, all right, bro, that's you. But for me, I have boundaries within my boundaries. You feel me, son? Listen. All honest truth, man. If I didn't want to have a family and if I don't want to embarrass my family, I'll probably be a porn star. And that's the honest truth.
Not for that. Listen, I've been married for going on 12 years now in September, right? And I tell my wife all the time, I said, listen, I think if we wasn't together, I didn't have kids, I would have been up and down these fucking streets. Especially now, what the fuck with girls, every time, when you look on IG or whatever, half of them got fucking OnlyFans. So I feel like OnlyFans is girls used to go out and strip. Yo, I gotta go to the strip club. I gotta be a fucking bartender, or I gotta shake my ass a little bit to get a couple of dollars because shorty ass Starlet told me she makes $500 a night or whatever, right? Now you kind of could just do that shit from your privacy, your own home, get the pole, take a couple of pictures and put up an OnlyFans and be like, yo, I go live every single Wednesday or Saturday or whatever.
Facts. Facts. I listen, I ain't gonna knock your hustle, but at some point, this is just for me at the end of the day, though, is I don't want to enter a room and every guy know how you look like naked. I don't need that. because I'm not like that. You feel
Right.
me? I date what I put out there.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? I date women's mindset. You understand?
Right.
Like the girl that like the girl, one who had OnlyFans, it was just like on some like great girl, like great girl. I talk about great girl, but it was also you just live too far. This is why that we
Right.
end up not together. Still my nigga to this day. Still my nigga. She's the hardest worker. She gets to the bag and everything like that. Never judged her, and she always made me feel good. You understand? So listen, you can be sucking dick on camera. If you let me feel like let me be me around you, I'll let you be you. We'll be the best of friends.
No, you're right. Because like the way I see it now, I'm just like, damn. Like if you tell me like, hey, listen, I just want to let you know things are getting a little serious. I think I need to let you know, like, hey, I got an OnlyFans. I'm like, my curiosity would definitely like. So, what exactly do you do? Like, can I see? There's two things that I'm gonna ask. Can I see your page? I don't want you to tell me what you do because you could tell me anything. Oh, I just take pictures. Okay, no. Can you log in to your page? I want to see what you post.
Thank you.
And the second thing I'm gonna ask, and I know it's none of my business, but how much do you actually make off of this? Is it worth the money that you're doing? You know what I mean? Like if you go on there and she be like, yo, my payout is I don't know, $300. And like, is this 300 for the day, the week, or the month? Or it's for the month. You need to try something else.
I never thought answer that question though, but you're right. Like when you go to like people understand, like you've been married forever. Like when you get in a relationship with anybody, you have to know what you're dealing with.
It's a partnership at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like people always say, like when you get married, it's a partnership, but when you're dating somebody and it starts to get serious, like you have to sit down with that person and be like, okay, what are we doing? You know what I mean? It's like I did that with my wife when we got together. We sat down with each other and was like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Do you want kids? Yes. Okay, cool. Let's check that off. Do you want to work retail for the rest of your life? No. Okay, great. Let's check that off. You know what I mean? Would you ever move out of New York? Because we both from New York, and you know, she checked off yes, and I was like, all right, great. You know what I mean? And then we moved forward. We grew as two individuals, and we're still, you know, going strong to this day. And you know, that's one of like if I meet a girl and I'm in love with her, and she tells me I got an OnlyFans, the first thing I'm doing is okay. What, like I said, what are you posting, and how much are you making? Because if you're gonna do this, you got to do this right.
Exactly. It's just you have to you understand how to be in the team.
Exactly. Let's get the bag. Because if you're gonna listen, if you're putting yourself out there, fuck, at least let it be worth it.
This is why I have that boundary. As long as you're facing that on there, because at the end of the day, I want kids, and these kids are ruthless.
Oh like, yes.
They will say, "Yo, this is why your mom have an OnlyFans." Take out their phone and have it blasting in the middle of class.
Listen, I have an 11-year-old, and I check his phone every night. And some of the conversations these kids be having in their little group chats, it makes you laugh, but at the same time, you be like, okay, I hope you guys don't take it too far. You know what I mean? Because then we got to get parents involved type of shit. You know what I mean? And these kids be ruthless, like you said. Like they'll pull out a cell phone and be like, yo, isn't this your mom? Her titties out? Like, yo, now you embarrassed. You crying.
Thank you. And this is why I have to think long term. Like, listen, this is something like, I know we go off topic, but all ties into wrestling is when you know who you are, you understand that all your actions affect the people around you. What do you mean? Hey, let's say how that you're a father, and let's say how that a situation where like you lost your car keys, right? Because you was being reckless and sat a third. That affects your wife. That affects your kids.
Yep.
You understand? Because you know you didn't have an extra one. Shit. What am I gonna do? Dang. I gotta be more careful next time. Yeah, you fuck up. I gotta be more careful next time so this won't happen because it affects everybody around you. And a lot of people don't understand the concept of, yo, you affect me. You don't understand. You affect me. People don't understand that. We need each other. Somebody is making sure that Con Ed is making sure we have electricity. Thank you, that somebody. So,
exactly.
so that OnlyFans conversation, you're right. That conversation needs to be had. Like, I never thought about even asking that. Thank you.
There you go. See, this is the whole power of having these conversations. Is you can go back and be like, let me ask you a question. Like, how much money you make? I don't want your money, but I just want to make sure like your bag is secure. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm gonna look at you. If you ask me for money, I'm like, don't you have an OnlyFans? You should be all right.
Even if, like, listen, I love spoiling my woman, so like, I still want to buy you something, but it gotta go both ways though. You feel me though? You feel me? Like, my girl makes sure I'm good, iced out, whatever. Same thing with her. You feel me? Like, equal partnership. I definitely believe in that though. But like you said, you need somebody. I need $200. My nigga, you made 50 grand. Why you need my $500 for? Why?
Word.
Why?
Exactly.
Why?
Oh my God. We're gonna go into our last topic. It's the summer.
Go ahead.
It's the summertime. It's hot.
Yeah.
Right. The pools are open, beaches are somewhat open. You know, I heard they have a little lifeguard situation. But the one thing that we all love about the summer is the barbecues. We get it. We're either doing the cookouts or we're going to the cookouts. Right?
Yes.
90% of the time I'm going to the cookouts because I don't own a grill. So I just wait for the invite. But what are your top 3 things that you need at, like, you go to a barbecue and you're like, yo, if this is not here, y'all fucked up?
Dang. Do like burgers and hot dogs.
Anything. I'm talking.
Okay.
It ranges from anything. It ranges from music to food to games, like anything.
I said the first thing is you gotta have the traditional barbecue food. None of that healthy alternative Impossible Burger. No, I want beef hot dogs. You feel me? I want beef burgers. You know, if you got money, turkey burgers. I'm fine with that too. You feel me? Though, fine with that. You feel me? But you gotta have barbecue food. Those are the 2 staples you have to have, because sometimes that's all you can afford. Fuck it, I don't give a shit. As long as you have those 2, I'm cool. And with that, included with that, you gotta have the bevs, the Sprite. You gotta have Sprite at the barbecue, B. You got to have Sprite at the barbecue. If you don't have Sprite there, I'm looking at you funny like, you don't have Sprite, son? Like, son, you got Coke? Now I'm good. Gotta have Sprite. The second thing is you gotta have music. You have to have music. But you gotta have music where, like, you chilling with your boy, laughing, like music where, like, it's not overpowering. You feel me? It's not too overpowering. It's just right. The moments it gets hype, whatever, but it's like a even. You gotta have the right music.
Flow.
Thank you. And last thing that you have to have, I'm looking like, not knowing your guests. Like, I look at you very funny who you invite to the barbecue. You feel me though, son? Because it's just like, I look at everyone you invite. If I'm looking like, all right, this person kind of hang out with a lot of like sketchy people. Okay.
Right.
I gotta go. But the people that I could like, this person's very diverse, but they all have like a good energy to them. I can rock. You feel me? Because I don't care how good your food is. The other 2 could be on point. But if the energy's wrong, the vibe is not, I ain't feeling it. Because, like, for me, when the energy's off, the music's off. The food is off. You look like the food looking like, nah, I'm good. You look like, I'm good. Like, the burger's not the same.
Yeah, no,
you
gotta
right. Have good energy. Good people, yeah.
No, you're right. Because I've been to a couple barbecues where, like, I'll get invited someplace and, like, that's my man. Like, you know what I mean? I tell him, like, I tell my wife, like, hey, this person invited us here. Let's just go for a little bit or whatever. And, you know, she's always my person detector. Like, when I see her face, she'll be like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, deep down, you kind of like, you want to say something, But because it's your man, you're like, I'm gonna stick around a little bit, and then you kind of look at your lady and you be like, you all right? And she be like, nah, I'm not feeling this. Like, I'm like, all right, listen, let's just grab a couple of burgers. I'm out. Like, you know what I mean? And I've been to a couple of those where you kind of just sit there and be like, yo, these are the people you hang out with when we not together, type of thing. Like, you kind of, and when you said that, I kind of you question yourself, like not yourself, but you question them, and you be like, there's a little bit of a hint that you may act this way. You don't act about it around me yet, but deep down inside, you act this way in front of somebody else.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? And it's like, and then you have those people who bring stuff to a barbecue, and you be like, yo, who made this or who brung this?
Thank you.
Like, what the fuck were you thinking?
Thank you.
Like, I remember I went to a barbecue with my in-laws, and somebody made something. I think it was like a macaroni salad or whatever, right? And I'm the type of person that I'll like sample everything, right?
Of course.
You know, like, oh, I don't want to be rude, but like, oh yeah, I'll take a little bit of this or whatever. If I don't like it no more, I won't eat it. My mother-in-law stopped me real quick. I went to go scoop it, and she goes, no. You don't want to eat this. And I was like, well, what happened? And she was like, it tastes horrible. I was like, all I said was, who made this? So I tasted a little bit of it. It was not good at all. I just was like, oh yeah, this is all right. And threw the rest of it, threw it away. But I like what you said too with the music that you got to have the music. It has to be a vibe. I got to make sure that if I invite you to a barbecue, I have to have Sprite. I normally have like Pepsi and like so some other stuff or whatever. You know, you get the adult beverages and stuff like that that's there. You know what I mean? And then for me, I have to say like games. You gotta have good games. I mean, sometimes it's cool you vibing and talking with people. But at the same time, you probably want to, you know what I mean, throw some spades in there. So I'm Spanish, so we throw in dominoes, you know, and then
of course,
you know, we throw and I like to go a little, make sure the kids is cool. So I throw the Connect Four in there. Listen, have you ever played Connect Four with grown adults that have been drinking and take games seriously?
No.
Keep people away from a Connect Four game. That shit turns real. You throw spades if you renege on a book, or you cut something you wasn't supposed to cut. You thought that you could get your ass fucking handed to you at a spade game. Play Connect Four with grown adults to take competition serious. That shit turns ugly. You may lose a friend. That and Uno.
Uno.
You'll lose a friend. Yeah. Hit a drunk person with a draw four, and they ain't got shit in there.
Oh my god.
That shit is horrible. And not for nothing, I've been one of those people where I've been a little tipsy, hit me with the drunk four, and I'm just looking at you mean. Like, you fucking bastard. Like, how dare you?
Connect Four, you know what? I'm gonna get a Connect Four game. You know what? I'm gonna get a Connect Four. I never thought about Connect Four. I never thought about it.
Get a like a family game night. Invite like your close people. Don't invite like, oh yeah, I met this person a couple of days ago, whatever. Like, yo, we gotta have a game. No. Get Wilkins, get Janelle, get all your other close friends together. Have a couple of drinks. Make sure that they nice, they good. Like, yo, you enjoying yourself? And then just break out the Connect Four and be like, yo, who want to play right now? And just see how they react to this.
All right, Connect Four. All right, cool. Like COVID. That's what I miss the most about COVID. Yes. Is we all go to Janelle's house. We used to call it Janelle Underground, and we used to watch Ring of Honor. We used to watch every pay-per-view at her house. It was like Legends Bar at her house. And you remind me, like, we used to get drunk. We never thought about playing Connect Four. Like, I'm really thinking about it. I'm looking like that Connect Four would have been clutch in between matches, and we're drunk. Yep. Dang, son.
That shit would turn into a chess match. You play chess and you take your time.
Mm-hmm.
A drunk person will literally take 30 minutes to play Connect Four because you're like, yo, let me get this right and focus, because your brain, it's all about the brain. So you kind of thinking that you're like, oh, shit, Did I just drop that there? And then you just see the smile on that person's face, like boom, and they're gonna talk shit depending on the person. You know what I mean?
Yo, I never thought I'd get a Connect 4. Wow, like this was dang, man. Like once we get off of them, I'm gonna order this off of Amazon.
There you go.
Connect 4. Dang.
Oh man, but yo, it was good having you on.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
we talked a lot of different stuff. I got your opinions on some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
For people who don't, people who are listening to the audio version of this right now, like where can they catch you, like social wise?
They can catch me at I'm on Instagram at _ Mr. Black, MRBLACC. I'm also 1/3 of the Jabba Tears podcast. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, on YouTube. July 29th, Jabba Slam 3, New Jabba City, man. It's gonna be great. My brother teaming with Encore Moore versus Simon Miller, part 2 for the mystery partner. It's gonna be a vibe, and that Sunday we'll be at Legends Bar also. So it's gonna be a Jabba week.
So yeah, I was about to say that. I guess it's a Jabba Slam week. Unless you guys are you guys gonna have anything on Friday? Yeah, I think you should. It should just be a whole vibe the whole three days. Like
I'm actually we might have something. You know what? I see everyone for tomorrow for the show. Oh, whatever this comes out, whatever. But I'm gonna talk to the guys that actually have a conversation. That's a great idea. Like you're right. That'd be a great. You know what? I'm gonna talk to. But thank you, Kenny.
There you go, guys. Thank you for listening to the to this audio version of Conversations with Kenny. Like I said, you can catch me every single Wednesday here at 7 o'clock. I have a different guest or multiple guests come on and we go over 3 topics. You know, we have a good time. We laugh. You get to know the person. You get to know me a little bit more. You can catch the audio version on Apple Play or anywhere you can find a podcast stream. Most likely you're going to end up seeing Conversations with Kenny with the Call Up podcast. Shout outs to the Knuckleheads Network, the power a lot of other podcasts that's around, like Respect the Craft and the Pro Wrestling podcast. Shout outs to Jabba Tears podcast for always showing love, and for Battle Club Pro for always showing love to us, the Running podcast, and also the Fig Cave podcast for showing us love. And if you guys are a wrestling fan, well, not obviously you're a wrestling fan if you're listening to this, but if you are a action figure collector, don't forget to go on Ringside Collectibles. Use the code word to call up. They'll save you 10%. Trust me, it helps when you're ordering a lot of shit from that place. Guys, until next time, y'all be easy and be safe.